to a less expensive home during your retirement can improve your finances, but there's a lot you need to take into consideration when moving. Our certified financial planner, Bert, joining us now to talk more about this. Joe, good morning.
Good morning, Andrea.
So how will a monthly mortgage payment affect your retirement budget?
Well, first of all, we say the American home is, the American dream. In some cases, it can be the American nightmare. So you got to be careful what you're doing. When you're moving from, say, an apartment into a home, you're taking on a mortgage, which can be a 15 or 30-year financial obligation. So you have to be careful about what you do there and look at how that affects your budget and understand that that payment is going to be with you for as long as you're in that home.
What about additional housing costs?
Well, when you move into the home, not only do you have your mortgage payment, the principal interest, but don't forget you have taxes.
Yes.
You have insurance. You have maintenance, all of which will increase as the age of the home increases. So just don't focus on what the mortgage payment is. And this is where a lot of people got into trouble back in the housing crisis. You know, they really leveraged up, got as much house as they can get and then they forgot about the taxes, the insurance, the maintenance, all that little stuff that went with it, and then we know the result.
And then you get upside down, and then it's really hard to get out of.
Exactly.
Can you qualify for a mortgage during retirement because you don't have any income?
Well, that's a challenge. Now, they can't discriminate against you based on your age. They can't, say you're a little too old.
Yeah.
But what they're going to look at is your sources of income, and you have to meet strict guidelines to be able to qualify for a mortgage today. So if you're near retirement age and you're thinking of moving into a home, you want to do that while you still have a steady paycheck. Because a lot easier to substantiate income if you have a W-2 than when you're in retirement. All you have is dividends and interest and capital gains. And for our clients, this is a real challenge. We have to put together some financial information, show the bank where they're actually getting their income from Social Security, from the required distributions from their IRAs, and all these other sources. So it gets to be a little more challenging.
Then this really takes some pre-planning then when you're thinking about it.
You've got to plan because once again, as I said, you're taking on a big financial obligation. If you're not prepared for it, it can really put you under.
What about renting? That seems like a smart choice.
Well, a lot of folks are getting out of the house because of the advantages that renting has today. You know, you have the rental apartment, something breaks, you call somebody, it fixed. If you want to go on vacation, you lock it up and it's all taken care of. But the downside of that is if you're going to be a long-term renter, you have to recognize that rental rates are generally going to probably go up over your lifetime. But don't forget, if you're in the house, the taxes, the insurance, the maintenance are going to go up. So it is a trade-off. And if you don't like the neighborhood, you can always move.
This is true.
Right.
What about leaving the house, to your kids? I know a lot of folks think about that.
Here's the big mistake that we see oftentimes in our office before the clients come to see us. They say, well, I'm going to avoid probate. I'm going to put my kid's name on the deed, and this way I'll avoid probate. It's the worst thing you can do. Because what happens is the kids avoid or don't get what we call a step up in basis, which means when mom and dad die, the kids inherit the house at that market value. They can sell it tomorrow and pay absolutely no taxes. If you put your kid's name on the deed, the kids are going to inherit it at whatever mom and dad paid for it, and they could be subject to taxes.
Wow.
Big mistake.
One last question for you. What about reverse mortgages?
Great idea. In fact, a lot of people are using them to buy that second home or that last home because you can virtually get in a home, put some equity in, get a reverse mortgage, and have absolutely no income, I should say, mortgage payment. Yeah, so it's not a bad idea. It works in some situations.
Works in some situations.
Exactly, not all.
Joe, great advice. Where can people find you?
Just Google me, Joe Bert, 2 words, B-E-R-T.
Joe, thank you.